always liked girls. In kindergarten, he had a crush on a little girl named Victoria.
Stephen did always have, there always was a girl that he had a crush on, even from like kindergarten.
But he couldn't say Victoria, he called her Victoria.
He always picked a typical girl, and I think it was frustrating for him that the girls never liked him back.
And one day he comes home from kindergarten and he opens the refrigerator, he takes the dish towel off the stove, puts it on the floor and starts just putting things on the dish towel. I go, what are you doing? And he looks at me, he goes, picnic with Victoria. So he's having this imaginary picnic in the middle of the kitchen floor with Victoria.
Not just a typical girl. The most popular girls in class.
He has good taste.
When he was 15, you know, he had a lot of typical girl crushes. I had to explain to him, if you really want to go on a date one day, you really have to like a girl with a disability.
Trying to encourage him to not think so much typical girl or girl with Down syndrome, but what characteristics do we want in a girlfriend?
Do you want to marry?
No.
No. Well, okay, generally speaking, do you want to marry?
In general speaking, no, I don't want to get married.
No?
Rachel is fine putting herself out there and is trying to meet the right guy, which, you know, Lee and I are completely supportive of, 100%.
I always want you to have a happy life, have a partner, just like mommy and daddy.
She is fine dating and putting herself out there, even if that means that she may get, you know, rejected time and time again. As her brother and her having Downs, I want to make sure that she doesn't get her feelings hurt and that she's approaching guys appropriately.
We all like people with things in common, and a girl who doesn't have a disability is probably going to be nice, and she may go and do things with you, but she's not going to be your romantic girlfriend.
We want to be as helpful as we can for her for searching for that person and helping her navigate sort of the waters of dating, which can be complicated enough. But at the same time, not like micromanaging her or overstepping her or telling her how to feel.
I worry that he has unrealistic expectations. You know, it looks like everybody just falls in love and lives happily ever after, like you see it in the movies.
Yes.
Her desire to be in a relationship may sometimes overtake the desire to get to know somebody first. She just jumps right to, oh, you're a guy and you're single, maybe we should be in a relationship.
Probably partially our fault because we set him up at the beginning and we gave him these expectations. You can date when you're 18, you can get married when you're 30, and you can't have sex until after you're married.
Well, now that Rachel's older, in fact she's 33, so it's been a while that she's had a great interest in the opposite sex. So there are issues that come up in terms of her ability to have sex, which she hasn't, right? Right, thanks. Shall I ask her to be sure?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
As his birthday would come up, he'd go up to girls and say, my birthday's tomorrow. Any day of the year he would say this, my birthday's tomorrow. And they'd go, oh, how old are you gonna be? He'd go, 30, you wanna get married? So Rick and I used to laugh because it was kind of like you wanna get laid, but it wasn't, you know, he doesn't even understand actual sexual intercourse at this point.
We both feel that she has the right to enjoy one of the great experiences of life. It's not our place to stop her from that, but it's our place to guide her and help her understand. But I think she wants intimacy.
Yes.
With someone. Is that fair to say? Whatever that may mean.
Likes to hug, he likes to kiss, and that's pretty much where it's at. So, you know, once he's in a committed relationship, and we will go through all of the how-tos and all that at that point. But at this point, we don't feel like it's necessary that he knows that.
You know, it would be really hard for Megan to be able to take care of a baby.
I think we at least feel comfortable that she knows she never wants to have children.
Through conversations and how hard it is to take care of a baby and what some of the complications could be, and it's not just all rosy all the time.
We've convinced her the difficulty of raising children.
That's correct.
Next, she has to know the difficulty of having a pet.
Yes.
That'll be the next one.
She can be really stubborn. And if she thinks that it's my idea that she doesn't have a baby, then of course she'll want to have a baby. So she's very prideful about that.
But what happens when you have girlfriends with Down syndrome?
I don't like that.
But what happens when you do have them?
No, I told you. I said I don't like that.
Do the moms make them break up?
Yeah.
So part of dating in your early 20s is realizing that relationships can be very complicated. Megan is not exempt from that complication and those emotions.
Sean's biggest heartbreaks haven't come from his girlfriends. They've come from his girlfriend's parents. He has fallen in love 2 or 3 times with girls that he really liked, and they really liked him, and they had a great relationship.
Megan has had a boyfriend for 7 years. They started dating when she was a freshman in high school.
They didn't have a fight. They didn't have an argument. There was no, typical ending of a relationship. It was just her mother saying, no, she'll never want to get married. She'll never want to have sex.
Megan definitely wants to move to LA. She's been talking about it for years. And if so, how realistic is that? Is her boyfriend really gonna move to California with her? And how does his family feel about that?
And also, I'm kind of asking the girl's parents when he meets a girl, do you expect that one day she may get married?
If the roles were reversed and Megan's boyfriend moved to California, they wouldn't let Megan move to California without me and understanding the support systems.
Because if they're saying no, I'm telling Sean he doesn't need to date her.
It's really complicated on so many more levels than most 23-year-olds.
There's one girl he has a strong crush on right now. Her parents don't even want her to date anyone, much less ever get married. Now he wants her even more because he can't have her. Isn't that normal?
I remind Megan, not all of her friends are in relationships, and it's okay to not be. I got married in my early 20s, and you know what? It was too young. So I definitely try to teach her life lessons from my own personal experience, and she actually really pays attention, so I'm lucky that she pays attention to my advice.
The biggest thing we were criticized for was leaving Speedy at our old house. We got Speedy when we first moved into that house. Speedy was 5 years old. We thought Speedy was a female tortoise. We had a sprinkler box in our backyard that was this green hard plastic stuck out of the ground a certain amount that Speedy actually adopted it as his girlfriend. And tortoises are also very territorial. So we would go on vacation and take him to a neighbor's house for a neighbor to watch him while we were on vacation. Well, he would spend the entire week trying to get back to our house. I mean, he escaped millions of ways. He even went sideways through wrought iron fencing to get out and to get back to his territory. So if we had moved him, all he would do the rest of his life is try to get back to that yard, to his territory, and his sprinkler box girlfriend. And the great thing was the people that bought our house loved him. They had a 2-year-old daughter and another baby on the way, and the 2-year-old was obsessed with turtles. So it was great. I mean, they absolutely love him, and he's in a great place. I mean, while he was very social, I don't think he really misses us, but he would definitely miss his yard.
You can make your life anything you want.
I just want to feel love.
I'm here, I'm alive, I'm human. We have to stick together.